Good evening, I'm Jeff Vaughn.
And I'm Lena Wynn. We begin with campaign 2016. Tomorrow's New York primary could change the momentum in the presidential race.
That's right. After recent losses, frontrunners Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are hoping that their new ties to New York will put them back on track. KCAL 9's Tom Waits is live in the newsroom at this hour with a look at what could be a very crucial day for those frontrunners. Tom?
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff and Linda. This is a huge day, and we have some breaking news to bring you tonight. Donald Trump's national field director has resigned, according to CNN, so we'll see if that has any impact on tomorrow's vote. But certainly tomorrow, everyone is going to be watching as voters go to the polls in just hours.
Wow.
Donald Trump holding court in the heart of his empire, Trump Tower. And tonight at a campaign rally, he took aim at Ted Cruz, evoking 9/11 to attack Cruz and his comments about New York values.
I saw the bravest people I've ever seen, including the construction workers, including every person down there. That's what New York values about.
But the GOP frontrunner also had this flub when talking about 9/11.
I was down there, and I watched our police and our firemen down at 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down.
Cruz is so far behind in the polls in New York, he isn't even campaigning there, choosing instead to focus on Maryland, which votes next week. He told his supporters Trump cannot be trusted as a true conservative.
Donald Trump has been supporting liberal Democrats for 40 years.
John Kasich was in Syracuse, and while far behind in votes and in delegates, he's still counting on a brokered convention.
We're going to go to an open convention. And they're beginning to realize that. And they don't like the idea of an open convention.
Meanwhile, Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton was in Queens meeting with recently unionized workers at a car wash.
How are you feeling about tomorrow, Madam Secretary?
Oh, I'm excited. I will work as hard as I can. I've got great friends and supporters across the city and the state who are helping me, but we're not taking anything for granted.
Bernie Sanders was in Midtown and was greeted like a hero by striking Verizon workers.
Thank all of you for the courage to stand up for justice and against corporate greed. And I applaud what you're doing. We're going to win this thing.
There may be more at stake for the GOP in tomorrow's New York primary. If Trump doesn't win by more than 50%, the party could end up with a contested convention. For Republicans, there are 95 delegates at stake in New York. Each of 27 congressional districts will allocate 3 delegates for a total of 81. Another 14 at-large delegates could go to Trump if he tops 50% of the vote statewide.
I think it's clearly going to be a Donald Trump. He's going to get a plurality, if not a majority of the voters.
Loyola Marymount University political science professor Fernando Guerra says Trump has his best chance to win big because he has less competition.
I project that Trump will get a majority in New York, and it'll be the first time he actually wins a primary with the majority.
On the Democratic side, Clinton needs a victory to slow Sanders' momentum.
The key thing is that, Hillary still wins even if she doesn't get the majority, in that she gets enough delegates to continue to stay ahead of Sanders. The problem for Hillary becomes that she continues to lose even though she continues to lead so much by delegate counts.
Both Trump and Clinton have double-digit leads in polls leading up to this election, but we have seen those polls be very wrong in the past. Everyone's going to be glued to these results tomorrow. Reporting live in the newsroom, Jeff and Lena, back to you.